If you are feeling uncertain about your career and where things are headed, if you feel you've made the wrong career choices and now like you regret what you're doing, if you're struggling to find a way to do what you actually want to do with your life instead of what your parents or society say you should do, this might be the video for you. So I just did a Zoom call with my Patreon supporters, and it was my first ever live sort of broadcast, so I'm feeling a little bit nervous, and I asked my good friend if he could, join and maybe help me out if I needed it. And I had a very clear plan of what I was going to present, but very quickly, the whole thing went off script. So in the first few minutes of the call, it was just myself and my friend and one of my patrons, and I asked her, hey, how's life? What's going on? Just idle chit-chat while we waited for more people to arrive. But nobody else showed up. And, we're all thinking I would go into a presentation, and the patron that showed up was expecting to just be anonymous. Just going to sit in the back and observing. But as our conversation went on, I felt that she would get a lot more value if we talked about her life situation and the things that were troubling her instead. So things got unexpectedly personal, and there's a chunk in the middle where we discuss how completely off script the whole thing was, and sort of debated the ethics of, putting someone on the spot and asking them tough questions when they're just expecting to be an observer. But I think it was really cool how the whole thing went, and I did get her permission to share this conversation with you. She just asked that we don't include her real name during the conversation, so every time that we say her real name, it's beeped out and we call her Eryn instead. Aside from that, I have removed a few minutes of idle chatter and trimmed a couple little spots where there's some technical glitches and stuff that interrupted the flow, but I've done my best to not edit the crap out of this thing, so you can see the, honest, raw version. And here we go. Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, you?
Having a good time? Forgot to take off my super high-tech blocker thingy. This is my beautiful temporary living stuff here. We got our luggage still behind me. Still looking for a place to live, but yeah. Cool. Well, yeah. So it's just you and I.
Fine.
How are you? I just thought maybe my audience would be interested to, see where it's going and give you my roadmap for the future and, share my big dream with you and see what you think. But, before I go blabbing about stuff that maybe you're not so interested in, I'd like to get to know you a little better. Why are you here today? Is there anything in particular that you want to learn? You just want to hang out and be goofy? You mentioned you want to be a fly on the wall. Anything in particular?
I don't know if you remember when you post on Patreon a post about who are you.
Mm-hmm.
We chat a little about how I didn't like what I was doing.
Yes. It's funny that you should bring this up because Brad just so happens to be a brilliant person with when it comes to sort of profession and doing what you love to do and whatnot. Brad, are you still there? Are you making ratchet noises now, or?
No, I'm still paying attention to what's going on the call. It bugs me that my video doesn't work. Sorry. It's just like bad internet etiquette to not have your camera on. So, yeah. No, I'm still here. I'm still listening to the conversation for sure.
So maybe, Eryn, why don't you just quickly rehash your situation?
Okay.
If you like. If you want, no pressure. I mean, we talk about whatever you want, but.
I was not supposed the one to be talking today, but I guess it's my turn. Okay, so in 2012, I don't know how to say years in English. That's weird.
2012, yeah.
I chose to study IT because I didn't know what to do in my professional life, and kind of pick something easy and with a lot of job opportunity.
Yeah.
And Well, I just started to study it, and at the beginning it was fun, but for now, being all the day on a computer, creating website or application for like business and company, it's
Yeah.
not my kind of thing. I would I would prefer to be outside to work with animals, nature.
Yeah.
When I was younger, my parents and my teachers said it was too childish to have that kind of
Right.
perspective in life.
Right.
And I said, okay, I will choose something more adult, or and
Yeah.
I couldn't choose medical stuff because I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I went in something more scientific.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you learning sort of computer science and how chips and circuits work together and all the electricity and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, but mostly how to develop and code.
Right. Right. Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, I hear you there. I am generally happiest when I'm moving, when I'm up, when I'm, on my feet, walking around, being really physical. And it's strange that I have chosen repeatedly professions where I'm sitting at the computer. You know, even when I love what I'm doing, when I'm in love, when I'm working on a video project that I'm just like totally into, I always reach a point where I'm just like, I don't want to sit here anymore, and I'm sort of forcing
Yeah,
myself to just got to work through it. But yeah, I love exercising and getting on my bike and going to the gym. Pre-COVID, anyways, it's been a long time, but yeah. So how many years was your course?
uh, for now I've been studying for 6 years, and
Right, it's an 8-year course, right?
it would be 7 because of the repassing test and so on. So
Right.
I'm 27 now. It's been a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was 36 years old before I did anything sort of important with my life. So don't worry about it. Yeah. Brad, do you have any questions or pearls of wisdom or anything that you care to?
I just feel like I'm talking to the female version of Jody. It's kind of hearing what in working with Jody for I don't know how many years. We've been friends and did some coaching with him and stuff like that. What you're describing sounds exactly what Jody has struggled with since I met him.
Yeah.
And to kind of put my 2 cents in is, I mean, I'm 41, and it wasn't until like the last year and a half where I really felt like I landed in a place where my gifts and talents and purpose was in alignment with the work I do. So so there's still time for sure. I can hear I don't know if it's frustration, but there's like some in your voice. There's like is it frustration? Would that be it? Like I put in it 8 years, and now I'm not really where I kind of wanted to be. Is that what that is?
Yeah, I was very upset till I'd say 2 months ago about the choices I made, etc., etc. Now I'm more at peace with it and at peace with me, because I'm finally getting out of this system.
Right.
So it's finally ending in a way. So I'm more relaxed, calm. I don't know.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Optimistic.
Yeah.
So my wife loves animals like crazy. I mean, she, her Instagram, we're always watching cat and dog videos together, and she watches all the veterinary shows, Dr. Paul, Dr. Jeff, all of that sort of stuff. And she'll watch the same thing over and over and over. And every time she's like, I'm watching an episode, it's like, haven't we seen him pulling a baby cow out of the mother like 20 times? And, she just loves that stuff. But she's studying to be an electrical engineer. No, she's not studying. She is a PhD. That's her career now. She got her doctorate. It took her like 6 years to do her thesis and all that. But we talk about one day, when we're fabulously millionaires, and she doesn't have to do that sort of thing. Does she want to continue teaching, being a professor? Is she interested in that career at all? Or, do we buy a big plot of land and rescue animals and bring vets and, do all that sort of thing? So, I think it's important that people be involved with their passion, whatever it is, whether it makes them money or not. And it's up to you how much you want to do that. If it's sort of a part-time thing, if you sort of pay your dues, pay the bills, et cetera, et cetera. But your career doesn't have to be your passion, and it's up to you to decide how much, time of doing this or doing that adds to your happiness or takes away from your happiness and all that sort of thing. Is any of this making any sense?
Yeah, totally. It's just I still don't know if I want to have a work that pays the bills and a passion that makes me happy, or if I want the two to be connected.
Yeah.
I haven't figured it out yet, I think.
Yeah. Brad was a car mechanic for the longest time, and
still is.
Even though he's a brilliant coach, he has lots of other talents. He's also really good at fixing cars, and from time to time, he's Brad. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you sort of quit the car thing. You became a coach. That was a little bit challenging for a while. Did you go back to the car thing, or have you successfully stayed out of it since then?
I did briefly go back to mechanics for about a year and a half when the business of coaching wasn't sustainable anymore, right? So I love coaching and had lots of great clients, but to build the business, I wasn't ready to do what needed to be done to build the business at the same time as raise a family. And so I did go back for a year and a half or so to do mechanic, because that's what I knew I could do to make money.
Yeah.
And at that time, that's what had to happen. I had to feed I had to contribute to the family household and feed the kids. And Kara was finishing school. She finished her psychology degree actually at 42, just to kind of throw that out there in the mix. She didn't land until she was 40, 41 too. But then now I work for a steel company as their people development and engagement. So now I do a lot more coaching. I'm part of the team that is developing their people strategies. We're very value focused. Lots of new technologies and stuff that we're using. So now I make money doing something that I really love to do. And then on the weekends I fix cars in the garage because it's fun, which is different. Because I've always liked cars. I've always liked fixing cars. And as soon as it became about making money, it lost a lot of its fun, which I think is something I think a lot of people go through. I think I know graphic designers and stuff like that too that I've worked with have gone through the same thing. It was like a passion of theirs. And then as soon as they had to make a living doing it, all of a sudden the fun kind of came out of it. Right. So that was kind of where I went to.
IT was fun when I learned it in school, like the first 2 years, it was really fun. Yeah. And now it's just a job, managing people, getting the work done.
Yeah. So what was it about those first 2 years that you loved the most?
Being at school, in fact, learning about IT and doing the homework with my friends. That was the fun part, learning and doing. We had to do specific tasks, but the subject, let's say, of the website, we could choose the subject, like making a website for a school or for a car company. And that was the creative part that was the best part, I think.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And I've gone through that a lot. Like Brad mentioned, a lot of graphic designers and web designers and stuff. It was incredibly excited about being a web designer in the first few years, and then it became a job. And then, it just became sort of this steam production process of just like, just spitting out websites and just, people would rant and rave about how they loved it. And then I went into the boss's office one day and I said, I'm bored. What do we do? And she says, you should go freelance. You should do your own thing. And I was like, I'd been working there 7 years, and I've become really close. It was like family, and leaving that was really hard. And I'm a very social person. How could I survive just hanging out by myself all day long? Well, that was 15 years ago now. So yeah. So turns out I'm really good at it. So yeah.
Hey, I'm curious, what's one thing that Jody could give you or tell you or share with you that would make the biggest difference for you, like moving forward from today? What's there that he can offer you?
It's not the kind of call you were expecting, was it?
Absolutely not. I told you I was expecting to be, like you said, a fly on the wall and to witness people talking. And I thought you would be, in fact, I thought you would talk a little bit about that, but mostly about what you're doing on YouTube, the binaural sound bits.
Yeah.
And I'm here now having questions asked to myself.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you know what? There does sort of need to be a permission thing. Brad, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't expecting this
permission and a direction to follow.
Maybe we should back off a little bit. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Brad?
Well, I mean, you're here, so it's and Jody's right. Like we're offering you support, and you haven't necessarily asked for it.
Yeah.
And so that would be going back to the question is for you to get value from today's call, whether it's about learning more about Jody or learning something about binaural beats or learning something about, the plethora of things he's done online over the years. What feels like the most beneficial for you? Because we both got, I've got years of experience coaching people through similar situations that you're going through. Jody's got years of experience going through what you're going through and coaching other people he knows through it. So there's lots of wisdom here, but I don't want to assume that, that what we know is what you need. It would be it's up to you to let Jody know, hey, this is, it's different than what you thought, for sure. I get that, right? If there were 20 people here, you could totally hide in the back and just listen and see what happens.
No problem.
But you're lucky to be able to be on the call and have, Jody's undivided attention. So I would ask him whatever you need to ask him, and he'll give you what he's got.
Free coaching with Brad too. That's worth something as well.
Yeah, that's intimidating. In fact, I would like to talk about my problems and have your point of view as people who don't know me, but I don't want to bother you. You have life stuff to do.
Hey, we're here. And I honestly, at this point, I'm thinking I probably won't do my sort of presentation that I had planned. I'm probably going to do at least a call every month. And at that time, I could, go through. And I might have more exciting stuff to share, because right now, so the researcher and I are just having trouble getting our time zones, getting a meeting time set up. And I just moved, and it's just been madness. So, yeah, I'm cool with just being here with you, because we are here. It's just you and I and Brad. So, that's cool. But yeah, but you're not required at all. You can, you're cool and feel comfortable and stuff.
Oh, I'm cool with that. I feel comfortable, and obviously if I'm talking like that, it's because that's why I wanted to support you in the first place, because I don't see you as the other people on YouTube. You're more natural, spontaneous, and you make it feel like you're close to people, even if it's through a video that was recorded when you were alone, and we are obviously watching when you're not really talking to us. Yeah. That's the point of a video, I know, but
cool. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think I would take advice easily from you, because you're not close to me. You don't know me. You don't know
There's some safety in
who
that.
I was.
Yeah.
And maybe I could do with some advice.
We can take you at face value for who you are now, not who we think you were or what you're supposed to be. Definitely hear you with the parents saying you should do this and not do that. If I had listened to my dad, I'd be an accountant now, which it would be absolute hell for me. So just thank God that I flunked calculus twice because there's just no way. So, yeah. But so it just in terms of sort of maybe something you could do, a small action you could take that might be a little uncomfortable, but not, put your job at risk. What would you feel about talking to the boss and asking if you could is there a boss? Or are you just in school now?
Well, I'm going to be on Monday, my job will end.
Right.
And I will have to. That's a weird situation because of COVID-19. I don't know if I will be able to join the class at school to follow the lessons, or if I will have to study from home. We still don't know. I will know about that, I think, the 15th of September. And I still don't know if I will move back to my parents' house to just study, or if I will find a job to, like a student job.
Yeah, so how are you currently paying your rent and your bills and stuff? You got money in savings, or do you have like a loan or rent? Or...
Savings.
Yeah, nice. Well, it's good that you have it during these crazy times for sure, but obviously that's not going to last forever.
No, I will do maybe 1 or 2 months, like just the time to figure out what I should do.
So you can live for 1 more 2 months on your savings, and do you get a job or? Yeah.
I had exams like 2 days ago. So until those, I didn't think about anything else than study.
Right. Now you've got some time to go. What the hell am I doing? Or.
Exactly. That's the point of next week. That was the point of next week, and it's now, I guess.
Now here we are, starting Saturday instead of Monday.
Yeah. Why not?
Look at you, go-getter. Nice.
So I don't know. I was thinking maybe a part-time job as working in a shop, or I was eventually thinking about maybe go farming if everything goes wrong in school.
But would that be going right for you if you went and started working with animals?
Well, I don't know. I feel like I like being outside, like in the forest, on the beach, etc., etc. And I like taking care of animals, but I don't know. I haven't done it. I never worked like as a professional activity with animals. I just have 1 cat and 2 horses, but that's all.
Nice. Cool.
I like taking care of them, and I like working outside with them, learning, teaching them stuff. But I don't know if I could do that for a living, etc. Like there are, I feel like I have really childish childish question, like that stuff I was asking myself back when I was in high school, but I never really grew up on this part of me.
You know, I'm a big fan of the inner child. I think has a lot more wisdom than the adult a lot of times when it comes to the stuff that we love to do. So whenever I'm having this discussion with people who are like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, I always ask them, what did you love to do as a kid? What were you really good with, you know? And that's just a clue into sort of why you're here and who you are and you know what your unique spark is with the world. And again, it's up to you if you want to make a living doing that or not, but you definitely be involved with it, right? And so if you have 2 horses, I mean, that would probably be a lot of work. I don't have any horses. I have no idea how much work it is, but you know, do you feel fulfilled with your amount of animal involvement with horses? Or are you wanting more now?
I would like to have all the horses I know for now, but it's not possible. But I think I couldn't go a long time with just a work and a passion. I really want to work in my passion.
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
It's just I'm afraid I will grow to hate it if I need to make money out of it.
Yeah.
That's a fear I have because of people who became like that.
Right. So you know a lot of vets who now regret their decision to become a vet, or?
No. But I know I couldn't be a vet because I'm, you know, right. I'm afraid of blood and stuff. Right. That's the only problem. I wanted to be a vet when I was a little kid. Problem is I pass out when I see the inside of an animal.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
Problematic.
Yeah, well, when my wife is watching these shows, I'm like, oh.
Exactly.
Especially when they're getting down there, it's just like, no, why? Yeah. Cool. Well, Brad, any sort of final remarks on that, or?
Yeah, there was something you said about figuring out what I should do. And then there was something else you said about I want to do something in my profession. Did you, like just now, did I hear that correct, or what did you say?
I want to work with something that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
I get that. Totally. Yeah. And I mean, I think that's true for all of us. If we're going to go in 9 to 5, we want to do something that we enjoy doing from 9 to 5. I think, I guess the part that always kind of got me jammed up was thinking that it had to look a certain way. So like with the coaching, when I did my coach training with Jody, actually, the facilitator of that course was very business focused and still is very entrepreneurial focused. And so I had decided that back then that the only way for me to live my passion as a coach was to have my own coaching business, and then dedicated the next 10 years of my life attempting to build a business. And when I got really kind of present to what I was really passionate about, it was really about helping people. I wasn't passionate about having a business. And so having a business never worked for me. Mm-hmm. So I think what I hear and what you're saying is you're pretty clear about what you're passionate about, but it almost sounds like maybe you might be a little bit fixated on what it needs to look like. So I'm passionate about animals, so I have to be a vet, or I have to, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of different ways to live your passion. And so part of it is getting rid of this idea of what I should do and more present to, you know, this is what I'm good at. This is what I'm passionate about. Where do those two roads or those paths kind of cross over each other, where I can you know, make a living and also be fulfilled in what I'm doing, rather than how to be this.
I've got it. I just came up with your homework assignment.
All right.
If you're open to it, no obligation. But your homework assignment would be to come up with a list of 10 things that
All right.
you could do.
I need to note that before you.
Yeah,
So,
it's all good. It's all good. So a list of 10 things
yeah.
that you could do to be working with animals all the time, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, or whatever hours, that, don't involve a sort of a medical degree or, not being a vet. So, for example, running a cat cafe, right? That could be one example of stuff you could do. Working with a rescue business or whatever, right? So those are just a couple examples. So see if you can come up with 10 things, 10 ways that you could work with animals that wouldn't require you to go back to school.
All right.
Does that sound like a worthwhile assignment?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Are you good at web development? That's what you took training. That's what it was, right? It was web development and it was IT.
That was IT, but I worked for 1.5 years in web development.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the best, but I know my way to it.
So this is not coaching. This is just purely advice.
Yeah.
Is my suggestion would be is to take what you've spent all the time and money learning how to do and see where you can apply that to animals. So what comes to my head is going and approaching nonprofit societies that have to do with animals and say, I'm good at IT and I've got some web development background. Let me come work with you or intern with you. Let me do some work for you. I'll show you what I can do. And then you teach me about your industry or your work. Most of the people who I've met who have been successful in that have done some version of that. They've been trained in something and they've been able to get their foot in the door somewhere because of that training. One of the reasons why I got the job I got is because I had a mechanic background, a trades background, and it's a steel company. So we deal with tradespeople all the time. So my foot in the door was I'm a tradesperson, so I know how to talk to these guys. Give me a chance to build some competencies for you guys that are based on values. And then from there, I got a job. So
all right.
It's that part about don't throw away everything that you've worked so hard to create in college. Don't just put that out there and pretend like it's nothing. That's something you can leverage. Yeah. Just get really creative about how you leverage it. So to Jody's homework, look for those areas where can I create value for animal-based or people-based companies that might be exciting to work for? Where can I create value for them where they may not already have it by bringing my own unique position to it? Because what's really, and I mean, you've probably heard this before, but you don't have kids. You've got freedom of movement, just like Jody does. You guys have the ability to move, and so you can kind of sway with the wind a little bit, and be able to kind of take chances and get paid less for a future. So that's something that I would encourage you as you're doing Jody's homework. Don't throw the IT stuff out the window. That's gold there. You've got 7 years in that. It doesn't have to be a complete change, right? Like all of Jody's iterations and changes and evolution has all still had computers in the background. Like what he's good at that. He's just trying to find the part that fits over. And I think what he's doing now is probably closest with the binaural beats because it's about helping people and he gets to meet with people like you and me. And he gets to do what he knows how to do, which is screw around with computers. So see if you can find that crossover too as you're doing your homework for Jody.
Yeah,
super cool, Brad.
Thank you. Yeah, you're right. It's not nothing what I learned, but I think I'm fed up. I have enough of IT, so I just want to throw everything away and never hear about it again. Yeah. But that's probably a bad choice. It's immersive.
Yeah, in my experience, you never fully get away from it. once people know that you have this certain skill, it always finds a way, you always find a way to contribute. So even if you were to become an assistant at a veterinary clinic or something that didn't involve medicine, at some point they would learn that you know how to do this and this, and you would end up sort of, using your skills, and they wouldn't completely go to waste. But you might find, hey, this is cool. This is blending these two things, and maybe you might hate it. But you'll never really know until you try, I guess. But so, now I am recording this call, and I had just one person asking for the replay, because this was obviously not totally completely off script. Are you comfortable with this? I can send you the recording because I know there's value to listen to your words again and sort of watch yourself. I know that you personally will get value. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the thing to YouTube. It'll be unlisted. I'll just send you the link, and then you can let me know if you're cool with sharing it or not. Does that sound cool?
Okay, yes. Would it be possible to just beep my name? I'm not really comfortable with my name being online. My face, well, okay, but
yeah.
And in the next live call, I will write Eryn.
Right. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to hear this conversation again.
Yeah, cool. So I will do that. I will send a recording, and boom, cool, awesome. So
I'm not sure your audience on YouTube will really be interested in listening to.
Yeah, so a lot of times if things go totally off script, and one person is having this challenge, you'd be surprised 100 people have the exact same thing. So if people aren't interested, they can turn it off. If they are, then I think they'll get some awesome value from it. So yeah. Cool. Brad,
maybe in episode 2 you will talk about binaural beats.
Yes,
I'd like to learn about it.
Definitely we'll share more in the future. Yes. Brad, any final comments, thoughts, anything?
Oh, it was good to meet you, and thanks for bringing trust to the call and being willing to kind of share more of your personal stuff with Jody and I, so that we had something to do for an hour. Stare at each other. So that's cool, and I can hear your commitment to creating fulfillment in your life, and sticking to it will, I mean, that's the biggest part, is just stick to it, right? Jody and I have stuck to it quite a long time and starting to get it going now. So you've got time. Could
take a while.
Great. Well, thank you two, for all the advice. That was unexpected, but really, really interesting. Thank you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I hope you found it helpful to some degree, and yeah.
Yeah.
Like Brad said, absolutely. Thanks so much for just willing to show up and share, and even though it was kind of weird, maybe uncomfortable, I think you did really well. So I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, this has been an incredible time. Easy. I made it yesterday. I was so excited. Anyway, so yeah, thanks a lot, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, you watched the whole thing. Congratulations. Here's your gold star. I'm planning to do at least one live call every month, and if you'd like to join the next one, here is my Patreon link. I definitely wouldn't expect every call to go like this one did, so maybe don't join if you're wanting coaching, because that's not really what my membership is about. But I do give my supporters support. I support my supporters. Anyway, so thanks for watching, and have an awesome day.